InStreamRadio.com. Of course, your man John McKay in here. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, logging on. We are celebrating 2 million views and listens to our radio programs and TV programs. And so I definitely want to thank everyone for that. Today I'm going to be joined by hip-hop artist, reality TV star, Rashida, and I do believe that I have her on the line. Hello.
Yes, you do. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. What's going on? I hear y'all jamming the boss chick.
Oh yeah. Definitely. I had to dig in my crates and get it popping. Definitely. I want to jump right in. I have a lot of questions for you, and I have received a lot of questions from our listeners too. Some of them good, some of them not good. But I'm only going to give you the good questions. So, but first, okay. What are your first memories of hip hop? How did you get involved in the music?
You know what? I just loved hip hop. Period. I remember sitting there watching Salt and Pepper, with their leather jackets and their asymmetrical haircuts, with their bamboo door knocker earrings and rider boots and leggings, and I'm like, yo, I love them. I want to be like that. I want to be just like that. And hip hop just made me. It just kind of sucked me in a sense, because I would listen to like a lot of old school hip hop when I was younger and listen to the stories, and you wanted to be a part of what was going on. It wasn't a whole bunch of superficial stuff. It was, people really rapping about stuff going on in their hoods, music really making you feel good. And I said to myself, I want to do music and I want to make people feel good. Music a lot of times helps you remember a place and time in your life. You remember a song. You can always remember a song that your mama done played that you be like, I hated that song, but now that you're older, you like, that's a classic jam. You know what I'm saying? I remember that when I was 5 or 6 years old, and my mom is in the living room dancing with the freaking record playing, spinning in there, So I just always said I wanted to make people feel good and make people remember times, and that's what hip-hop did to me, and that's what I actually want to transcend through as well.
Absolutely. So how did you get to the point where you started creating music?
It started probably when I really started writing and creating my own music. I was probably around about 12 years old, I would have to say, is when I did, because prior to that I used to write other artists' lyrics and then try to rap it like them, which was not going to get you nowhere, but it was, I guess that was my training. But I started, doing my own thing and taking it, to another place when I was about 12.
Very good. And so if you fast forward a little bit, you were part of a hip-hop collective that I remember. I started out as a DJ. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I started off in a 3-girl rap group called the Capers. And we were just some little young girls, little teenage girls, running around trying to dance and rap and do our thing. It kind of started off as just something we were doing for fun, and then we kind of started taking it a lot more serious, and, it just evolved into, us, being able to put an album out, being able to do a few things during our time together, as far as BET, shooting videos and stuff. We actually signed with Kirk, which is my husband now still. And it was a great experience. Being in a group is fun, and as you kind of start to grow up, everybody's mind starts to go in different directions and priorities start going somewhere else. So that's kind of the reason why the group, kind of separated. But it was in my heart, so I kept it moving.
Definitely. Are you still friends with the ladies?
Yeah, I am. I'm actually real cool with them. We talk. I talked to Kia KP, which was on the KP and Envy, a lot more. I haven't talked to Kiki in a while, but it's always good times, fun times when we talk.
Absolutely. You also have a pretty good friendship with Candy of Escape fame.
Yeah, we actually had a group together called Peach Candy, and we still do music together. We just haven't been able to do like a Peach Candy album because both of our schedules are so crazy. We both so busy. But we always try to, on each other's projects or mixtapes that I'm doing, we try to, make sure we get a couple joints in together. So we still continue to do music, and yes, we're still really good friends and, just bigging each other up and supporting each other as we continue our endeavors in life. So it's all good.
Absolutely. For those just tuning in, I am Diamond K. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at the Diamond K Show, and Rashida, you're also on Twitter.
Yes, I am at Rashida on Twitter.
Absolutely. Twitter or Facebook? Which one do you prefer?
Twitter. Instagram,
Why?
to be honest.
Instagram more than that.
I like Instagram the most right now.
Even more than Twitter.
Yes.
Okay. So after you went solo, the transition, I know it had to be difficult to go from being, with two other ladies to just being by yourself on stage. How was that transition for you?
It really wasn't that bad for me. Because I've always been, somebody who just, I'm ready. When it's time to turn on, it's time to turn on regardless. And I felt, and one thing that Kurt told me when we initially started the solo project and stuff, he was like, hey, you want to be a solo artist, you're going to have to work hard, you're going to have to write records, and you're going to have to get out here and do your thing. If we're going to get behind this situation, you're going to have to give 100%. So it was kind of like put in my head to know I have to hold it down and hold my own and don't sit here and say, oh, but I missed this, or use that as an excuse for it to be a reason why I'm not doing what needs to be done. So it wasn't really that hard for me. I mean, it's good parts though, because you don't have to share your money no more, and all that good stuff when you're not in the group. But at the end of the day, you miss your friends, you miss that bonding time, that fun time that you have with with your girls and stuff like that. But you moving in your own direction, and that's exactly what I did.
Your debut solo album, Dirty South. I guess that was 2001. Yep,
2001
or so. And I remember when that album dropped. I guess at that time the sound was a little bit different as far as the southern sound. Do you remember the recording of that first album?
Oh, hell yeah. The first 3 records I did, the first record I recorded actually was my biggest record, which was Do It, featuring Pastor Troy. It went down as a crunk classic in the South. One of my highest charted records on Billboard Hot 100 singles. I was number 3 on the charts with that record. And, the crunk era was fresh, and I was like one of the first females to, step into that lane. And I could never forget the whole process of going through the Dirty South album.
One thing that I've always respected about you is that this is a male-dominated business, and you have stayed consistent, and for the most part, you've been independent. I mean, there's been some other label affiliations, but you've stayed consistent, and I think that you've set a good example for other independent artists, not just women artists, but male artists as well. So I definitely wanted to put that out there, but definitely. So as your career as a solo artist started to move forward, I think that another thing that's really good, and I'm gonna get to Love and Hip Hop in a minute, but with you working so closely with your husband, I'm sure that it was difficult working with some of these male artists. Is that fair to say?
You dropped out at that very last part. You said, is it hard working with?
No, I said you working so closely with your husband. Was it difficult with you collaborating with male artists?
Oh, no. Not at all. I mean, just keep it real in the world we live in. Dudes always trying to holler. But it's about
Right.
the woman understanding and respecting herself and respecting her relationship and knowing, you know, to shut that wall down. You know what I'm saying? And it was
Definitely.
never, you know, it was never an issue like in face personal. Do I think it affects a woman's career at times? Yes, I do. You know, because a lot of times, you know, dudes want to work with a female they can get with. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
just keeping
Right.
it funky. That's what they want to do. And, you know, that doesn't happen with me. You know, so it is what it is. But, you know, the crazy part is I've been able to work with some of the best artists in the game. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of them, you know, just keeping it real, they look and they be like, yo, I respect you guys and I respect what you guys have. So, you know, it works, you know, kind of funny, you know what I'm saying? But it's all in the artist, in the female, and how she respects and carries herself.
Absolutely. Do you have a favorite album that your solo albums?
Yes, I do. My favorite album was Georgia Peach.
Okay, that was the third album.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think Georgia Peach was the third album. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So when you do your set, what do you usually open with?
I start off with Do It all the time. I take them all the way back to the beginning. Then I go through and I do, it kind of depends on where I'm at because different cities I go to, you know, I allow my fans to, I ask them, do they have requests? And, you know, people yell out different stuff, you know, try to do, you know, as much as I can with the request, but I'll do Do It, I'll do Bubblegum, I'll do Type of Girl, I'll do Boss Chick, Georgia Peach, Marry Me, of course. My Bubblegum is a total must. You know, Legs to the Moon, and, you know, I'm just running it. New records, and the new records off the new album is like the I Do's and the Turned Up, those type of records, and Hit It From the Back, yeah.
You know, being based in Atlanta, I'm sure that it's easy for you to, you know, collaborate with other artists. How is it as far as your interaction with fans? I know you can be in Kroger's and run into fans and things like that. How is it, especially since you've had so much exposure on VH1, now that people recognize you so much more?
All the time. Like, it's not a place I go where people don't recognize and want to take pictures and just want to have, you know, small, quick conversation and stuff. And you know what? I look at it as a blessing. You know, as quick as you get it, as quick as it can be taken from you. So you can never take advantage of situations and understand that I have a lot of fans who have rolled with me from the beginning, and, you know, I never take that for granted. So it's crazy because it's definitely a change from being Rashida the independent, you know, ATL female artist to now Rashida on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, but I take it all in stride and just look at it as a blessing.
Absolutely. Speaking of Love and Hip Hop, I also want to commend you guys for allowing to put yourself out there, you know, so to speak, and I mean, you just putting everything on blast as far as a relationship. You know, I watched the show, and there was, I usually don't do this, but there was one part when you were meeting with the other management teams, and so you go into the room and you're talking to the lady, and I'm yelling at the TV like, no, don't do it. What are you doing? Stop it. You know, but how much of the show was exactly how you would have reacted to things, and how much of the show was the producers putting you in certain situations and telling you how to react?
Oh, they don't tell you how to react. It's a natural emotion. You know, they can't say, hey, react like this. That's not, that ain't how it goes down. You know, and what happens is, and the things that, you know, we feel as though are the most important are the things that are put out there, in a sense. You know, and what I was going through is, and what you saw is what you get. It is what it is. It's not nobody saying, do this or be like this at all.
Definitely. Also, this is, oh my goodness. Okay, this email question is about you and K. Michelle. How is your friendship with her, if any?
It's not one.
Understood. Okay, so no problem. Were you friends with any of the other people, of course, aside from your husband, prior to the show?
No, Kirk, Scrappy, Mama D. I've known Mimi for a long time, and who else? Who else? I've known Erica. And actually, I've known Erica, but hadn't been around her a whole lot. But I've always knew about her because and for the most part, that's really it. Like everybody else was, I met them, when the show started.
Okay. Also, another email question: will we see a show about you and Kurt?
Say that one more time.
Will we see a show strictly centered around you and your husband?
You never know. Just keep on looking. I mean, we're getting ready to start season 2 of Love and Hip Hop, so that's still fresh and going hard. But you never know what could come about after that.
Were you surprised with the success of the show? Initially, when I saw that they were going to Atlanta from New York, I was a little skeptical.
Really?
But yeah, initially I was. But once after the first episode that I watched, which was episode 1, but I didn't watch it on the initial showing. I watched a replay, and then once I watched the replay, I was hooked. And of course, everyone else was hooked. Were you yourself surprised with the success of the show?
We knew the show was gonna be successful because Love and Hip Hop was the first one was such a successful show. So we knew in a sense that people would be tuning in to see, okay, it went from New York to Atlanta. But did we know it was going to be the #1 show on television? No, we did not. We expected more than New York about midway through taping. You know what I'm saying? Because the things that were, coming about was like crazy. You know what I'm saying? So we was
right.
like, okay. And then it was just a whole nother swag, slang, just demeanor of people, just a whole nother situation, whole nother scenery, place. So we was like, it's going to be turned up. But did we know it was going to, beat out all the shows on TV every Monday night and all that? We did not know. The numbers were bananas. I don't think any of us anticipated it being that big.
Definitely. When I want to talk a little bit about Boss Chick Music, which is available now.
Yes, available on iTunes, Amazon, wherever you get your online music.
Absolutely. What's the motivation behind this title and this album?
Boss Chick Music is the motivation behind it is it is what it is. I'm a boss within myself here. I'm an independent artist who's able to sit down and make decisions about her career, alongside, of course, my husband and, kind of pave my own path, create my own lane, do my own thing. I have, my website that's, doing extremely well. I'm bossy.com. And, I just wanted to continue to empower women, nowadays in women, we're so freaking strong and powerful when we understand our worth.
UStreamRadio.com, your man Diamond K in here. That is Marry Me off the Boss Chick Music album by Rashida, who I have back on the line. For our listeners live right now, we are going to go off the air, and of course you'll be able to hear the rest of this in the archives. And Rashida?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, definitely got you back. No problem. The thing about your music that I really, really like is that, it works in the strip clubs. Okay?
Yeah,
so
of course, gotta have it.
Works in the strip clubs. Will we be seeing you, and this is off the email, will we be seeing you in any movies, any acting aspirations?
I have them, and I have a few things that I'm looking at. Nothing etched in stone yet or anything, but I'm definitely looking and having meetings.
Okay. All right. So that means yes, but no more details.
No more details.
No more details. Definitely. Has there been any downside to having a public relationship and a public life? What are the downsides?
That would have to be more of the downside of the situation. I mean, we have a real, solid marriage. It's not like a boyfriend-girlfriend thing where you're worried about certain things. You don't worry about those things when you're in a real tight unit marriage, close-knit, loving husband and wife situation.
Absolutely.
Some of the things that I feel like are great, though, is I'm glad that we're able to put it out there, to see, a man and a woman, who's in the music industry, who's been married so long, and putting black love out there, and being able to show them that, you can do this, you can make it work. Women, you don't have to settle. Men, there's nothing wrong with showing your emotions when you're in love with somebody, and a woman as well, and understanding that, there's ups and downs and, twists and turns, and there's problems in a relationship, but at the end of the day, the love is what keeps the relationship together. And also being able to, have a family, and it's a great thing to say, my son is living at home with his mom and dad, born, parents married and together, and that's something that I'm really, really proud of, and that I really wanted to put out there for our community.
Absolutely, and we need, like you said, we need more images like that, and we need that positive reinforcement, and that's definitely a good thing. So season 2, you said, is going to start soon.
Yes, it is. We start taping at the end of this month.
Well, that is good to know. And so of course you're still going to be working the album and taping, and I'm sure you're probably recording more music.
Yes, definitely. Just, still pushing with the music. Got some other things going on as well that, you'll be able to see on TV.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One last question coming from Twitter. Any artist that you have not worked with that you want to work with?
Yes, of course. It's crazy. Me and 2 Chainz went to school together and ain't did a song together yet. So we need to do a song together.
Definitely.
So definitely that. Just a matter of us getting up together. Kanye. I like Kanye. I'm a huge Jay-Z fan. I like Neo a whole lot. He's an amazing songwriter to me. Andre 3000 is extremely dope. Somebody I would love to have the chance to work with. Beyonce. I like Keisha Cole. There's several artists out there that I haven't worked with that I love.
Definitely. I was also wondering, as far as the other women in hip hop, have you experienced any? Has anybody tried to diss you on a record? That you know of?
No, not really that I know of like that. Nah.
Well, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I'm just thinking of if it was some up and coming artist from ATL that said, I'm going to take a shot at Rashida so I can come up.
Well, I mean, that would be the only reason why it would be for a come up, because I'm so real with mine and so cool and so 100, and like, it's like I don't have problems with people. So if somebody was to do that, it would just be out of trying to come up. But at the end of the day, nah. You know what I'm saying?
Very good, and I think that that's absolutely true, because the length of your career just shows how you have these artists that you were speaking about the beginning, and you've seen people come and seen people go, either bad decisions or just their heart wasn't in it or whatever, but you are still here and you are still pushing.
Yes, I am, and going hard. And luckily, just being able to wake up every day and do what you love and just be blessed. And one thing I always try to let people know is, like, people always have different things they want to say about, Rashida and her career. When you're an independent artist and you can say you own your music, the shit that you've worked hard for in your life, that you've recorded, the sacrifices that you made, the ups and the downs, and you can fully say, you know what, of 6 of my albums, we own 5 of our own albums. You know, I have a lot of music placed in movies and television, and you don't have to be mainstream to be successful. And, you know, success comes in different shapes and forms and fashions. And that's what I want people to understand who's stepping into the independent game and or who questions my career, somebody like me. You know what I'm saying? But just keep in mind, learn the business, then, because it's not what it's cracked up to be. And it takes a lot of failures to accomplish a lot of good things in this industry. So I just want people to understand that, you know, it takes a lot of twists, a lot of ups and downs, and there's a lot of things I've learned through experience only that's allowed me to be able to be in the place that I'm at. So I just want people to understand that going into something and being an independent artist and doing this music thing, you know what I'm saying, learn this business so that you can get something out of this business, because it can suck your ass dry. And you sit up and you be looking around and you older now and you trying to figure out what happened to my life, why I don't have shit. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to put that out there.
Definitely. And that's real, and that's good advice. And you know, a lot of people, they get caught up in the fake part of the business, you know, and not understanding, like you just said, you know, the business side. And the ownership is really important. There's a lot of artists that you know, that people may, you know, have seen in a bigger capacity that don't own anything as far as the music
nothing.
Right.
Nothing. And at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, and, you know, you've been out there and you've been on this mega scale, and then you look back and you say, okay, a lot of things weren't done right, a lot of decisions weren't made right, and now you're sitting here trying to figure out what the hell you're going to do. But at one point in time in your life, you were, you know, getting everything hand over fist, making money hand over fist, and people waiting on you hand and foot, and you was a big celebrity, and now you're sitting here trying to figure out how the hell you're going to pay your rent.
Right, and that's real, and it's a lot of artists that I've come in contact like that, and I'm sure that you know some yourself. So,
of course, yes, I do.
Absolutely, I want to thank you for taking time to call and talk with me and share your experiences with my listeners. And I want to wish you much continued success. And of course, anything else you want to say before we go?
I want to say thank you, first of all. I appreciate you having me, and I appreciate you showing love. And I definitely want to say follow me on Twitter. I'm at Rasheeda. It's RASHEEDA. Follow me on Instagram. I'm at Rasheeda the Boss Chick. Check out my website. It's imbossy.com, IMBOSSY.com, where you can get all the cute accessories, apparel, sunglasses, music, the whole shebang. And the new album, Boss Chick Music, make sure you get your copy. It's available now wherever you get your online music. So just want to put that out there and appreciate all the love from all the fans who've been holding me down. If it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't even be here. So thanks.
Definitely, you said that very well. Thanks again, and definitely I wanted to check in with you again sometime very soon.
Sure. Yes, we will. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.